Gururvishnu Gururdevo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Today, the subject matter for this discussion is self-development through self-knowledge. Self-development. It's a very complex subject, because what you mean by development? In the physical sense, development comes by duplication or multiplication. For example, cells develop in number, and when organic cells go on multiplying, we will say a creature is developing. And the development will still develop into many tissues, organs, and the whole body, we say, is developed or is developing. When the cells get developed, multiplied, or in some other cases divided. The same type of cell divided into two, then four, like that. But in the case of self, there is no such multiplication. Then what is self-development? Self cannot develop. Self is self. And self is never developing. But still we use the term in our common language, self-development. We, in this world, we are living here, being social beings, and having the ability to know, to understand, to accommodate, and to share. Such faculties are with us, and we are here with all these faculties. Then there is a scope for this term development. Having the ability to know, to understand, to accommodate, to share. When we have these abilities, we call that individual a developed one. That means you just observe other organisms. From microscopic single-celled organisms, we can see the development is rather biological or organic, through duplication and multiplication of cells. But when we come to human state, their development is, of course, organic development is there. It is happening within us, within the body. But here development is more psychic and psycho-social. And from that stage, still we can develop to higher planes of existence. And in human beings, by the term development, really we mean, let me use unfoldment. Development is unfoldment. That is development in human being. And in the initial stage, it is the ability to know, understand, share, and such developments. But when we go high and high, it is intellectual, to use an English word, even though it is not apt, spiritual. Why it is not apt? There is no translation for Atma in any other language. Atmiya or Adhyatmika. There is no translation. But in common language, we use spiritual. So in human being, from the very primary state of organic development to the highest spiritual development, that scope we have. And in all stages of these developments, the essential requirement is knowledge. Some may think, what nonsense he is saying. For intellectual and spiritual, we understand it through that knowledge, it is happening. But in the case of organic development, what is the relation between organic development and knowledge? See, for every happening, whether in the cosmic level or whether in our individual level or in the cellular level, there must be a consciousness behind that development. No development occurs without that consciousness behind. So even for organic development, there is a faculty behind, and it is consciousness. In that base, all other development happens. So from very organic development to spiritual development or self-realization, the end and aim of human life, the base is knowledge. To be precise, in the use of language, consciousness. Let us come to human level and discuss a little. After that, you can ask whatever you want. There is no any subject restriction. Whatever you want, you can ask. If I know the reply, I will reply. Otherwise, we can go into next question. See, in the Bhagavata, the 11th skandha, there is a verse saying what is the speciality of human beings, what is the greatness of a human birth, how human being is in such an exalted position. Why it is? It is said, Srishtva Purani Vividhanya Jayatma Shaktiya Vrikshan Sarisrupa Mrigan Khagadamsha Matsyan Taistair Atushta Hridaya Purusham Vidhaya Brahmavaloka Dhishanam Mudamapadevaha. That means, here, the creation in this universe, the creation happened. And so many living beings, from grass, Sarisrupa Mrigan, reptiles, animals, Khagadamsha Matsyan, insects, and birds, and those creatures in ocean and river. So many organisms came. But after having all these creations, that consciousness, that universal consciousness behind all these creations, Taistair Atushta Hridayaha, it sat without happiness within. That universal consciousness behind all these creations still sat without happiness. And finally, Brahmavaloka Dhishanam Purusham Vidhaya Mudamapadevaha. It felt the bliss within when the human being was created. When human being came into existence. Why so? What is the difference? It is said, Brahmavaloka Dhishanam. Dhishana means intellect. What type of intellect? Brahmavaloka Dhishanam. That intellect with ability to realize the final cause. The ability to realize the final cause. That is the meaning of Brahmavaloka Dhishanam. We cannot translate the term Brahma, but still it is the substratum, it is the very base of all phenomenal existences, from which all creations come out, in which everything is staying, and unto which all this will go in the final stage. That is called Brahma, from the root Brah, from which everything has sprout out. So it is the cause of all causes, the final cause. For an effect to happen, there must be a cause. For this world, for this phenomenal existence to be here, there must be a cause behind all. And what is that? The ability to think, the ability to realize that we have. And that is the speciality of human beings. And only because of that ability, we are in this highest plane of creation. So it is said in Bhagavata, when human being came into existence, that universal consciousness, which is responsible and which is behind all this phenomena of creation, it became that much happy. It felt that happiness within. And we are here with this intellect, having ability to realize the final cause, the supreme cause of all existences, the very base of all manifestations. We are here, we are human beings. And as we are human beings, what is the development within us? What type of development we can have? So many. Because we are living in so many spheres. So many aspects we are having in this life. To so many parlors we are working, going and working. So in all those stratas, there are development. There are the concept of development. But the final, according to Veda, is the supreme knowledge, knowledge of the Supreme. So, Upanishad says, Iha cheda vedid adha satyam asti. Na chediha vedid mahati vinashti. Iha avedid ched. In this world, you came as a human being, and if you could realize the supreme truth, then your life is atha satyam asti. It have that fulfillment, which is fulfilled. And even after getting this human birth and living or leading a human life, we cannot realize that supreme truth. Then Upanishad says, Mahati vinashti. It is a great loss. Mahati vinashti, great loss it is. So this must not happen in our life, this loss. So Upanishad asks us to go on inquiring, to realize the supreme truth, the cause of all causes. And only through this we are reaching the highest position. How this we can understand? So many says in their lectures, and it is written in so many books, and simply believing and repeating, knowing the self is the end and aim of human life, and it is the greatest development we can have. Simply repeating what it will do, how we can understand. Simply repeating the words of gurus or simply repeating the verses of text, it won't do. Because human being, we have that ability to think logically. Everything must be understood in a logical place. So naturally question asks, how we can reach at this conclusion logically? Then we must ask ourselves, what is the aim? What is the goal for which we are living here? There must be some aim. There must be some goal in human life. What is that? Of course, it changes from person to person, according to their perception, according to their level of intellectual growth. It will change. Some may say, going to heaven is my aim in life, or going to Vaikuntha or Kailasa, or other worlds, or reaching some positions in this world, becoming this, becoming that. We can welcome all such views. We cannot say everybody must have one same object or goal in life. No. But when we go for a logical thinking, we can negate all these as not the final goal. Because if somebody says, I want to go to Vaikuntha, there comes a question, have you seen Vaikuntha earlier? No. In this life? No. And do you remember? No. If you reach Vaikuntha, how you will recognize it is Vaikuntha? How you will recognize? You do not know where Vaikuntha is. No, I have so many texts I have read in Puranas. Vaikuntha will be like this and that. Who have written this? One man sitting in Vaikuntha or in the earth? Who has written Puranas? People in the earth. They have not seen Vaikuntha. So many imaginations they have written. No, Swami, I have full Shraddha in them and I know it is Vaikuntha. Yes, after reaching Vaikuntha, you will be taken to Mahavishnu, and of course you will be very happy to see Mahavishnu. But just imagine, he has to sit you in front of him. He'll be happy, of course, but slowly, no change is happening in him. After some time, we will get bored. And not only that, Mahavishnu is not alone there. Lakshmi is with him. When there are two together, there must be some quarrels. There must be. Whether in Vaikuntha or Kailasa, wherever there are two together, there must be some problems. Without some problem, no one can sit with another. There will be. And if you go to Kailasa, the problem will be much higher. Because there is one in head and one on the lap. So constant quarrels will be there. Not for joke we are saying. Abrahma bhuvana lokaha punaravrtin Arjuna. Up to Brahmaloka. All worlds, all planes of our loka means lokyate drishyate iti loka. What we are seeing, what we are experiencing, that is loka. So all planes of our experience, punaravartinaha, are those coming and going, not eternal. So, when we think about the goal of human life, there will be different opinions. And from a logical standpoint, we can negate 99.9% of goals which people in common life says. But Everybody in this world have one common object. In one point, there is no quarrel in between. And that is, I want happiness. I want happiness. I want to get rid of all sorrows, all griefs, all inflictions. I want to get rid of. And I want to have happiness within. This point, there is no quarrel. When we go and ask an American, when we go and ask an African, Indian, Arabian, there is no difference. Everybody wants happiness. There is no two opinions. There is no clashes. To have happiness, everybody wishes in this world. And from where we are getting this? Or to get rid of sorrows, griefs, we are having that wish within everybody. But how? When I am hungry, when that itching hunger is within my stomach, I am sad. And when I get sumptuous food, a feast, I am happy. I am feeling that happiness within. But after some time, slowly hunger will come again. When I was thirsty and longing for water, of course happiness will come, but it is only temporary. Only temporary. Whatever wealth we amass in this world, of course happiness will come, but it is temporal, it is temporary. So we are for happiness. We were running here and there for that. All this life. But the real happiness we never experienced, and we are in search of that again and again. We are in quest of happiness. Here, getting rid of sorrows or having happiness, eternal happiness, if we say that is the goal of human being, everybody will come forward and say, Swami, it is right. The other things, there are quarrels, there are difference of opinion. But regarding this, there is only one opinion, there is no other, there is no quarrels. So from where we are getting this? From where we can get this? Just you think. I was in search of happiness all this life, for all these years, in objects. And what I got was finite. I experienced that. All this happiness which I am getting from objects are finite. Still I am in search of that. Nobody in this world, from the beginning of this kalpa, declared to world, I am fully happy with the physical objects. No. There were so many emperors, so many kings, so many wealthiest people. Nobody declared to world, I am fully happy. I am in search of happiness. Still I am in search of happiness. But go to our Vedas, go to our Vaidika Shastras. There we are seeing, there we are hearing hundreds of exhortations of rishis. Vedahametam purusham mahantam. Yeah, I have seen that. I am in that exalted position. I am experiencing fullest joy, fullest bliss, fullest happiness within me. And in their sound there was no doubt. A doubtless voice comes only from experience. See, once a lecture session was going on, and it was for solely for youth. And in that session, some 2 or 3 youngsters stood up and asked the same question. Swamiji, what is mother tongue? This was their question. What is mother tongue? Matrabhasha. And you must think, who did ask this question? They were young people and they were living in America. Their parents also were living there. And they are 3rd generation or 4th generation who are settled there. They do not know Malayalam, Hindi, Gujarati, no Indian language, only English. But their parents, they knew their regional languages, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Gujarati, like that. And these 3rd generation youngsters, they asked this question, Swami, what is mother tongue? What will be your reply? It is a difficult question. I cannot say Malayalam is your mother bhasha. No, they do not know Malayalam. But at the same time, to reply English is your mother tongue, we have to think too much, because the meaning of mother bhasha is not that much easy. It is not that much simple. Then what shall I reply? But then I remembered one mantra from the Upanishads. It is said in Upanishads, Sa bhasha yaya sopane bhashate. Sa bhasha yaya sopane bhashate. That is the language in which you speak in dream state. That is the language in which you speak in dream state. What is that language? Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikhari. That is para. Not even Pashyanti. It is para. The para form of language. And it is within you. That is our Mother Bhasha. That is our Mother Bhasha. Para language. And we are translating it into Pashyanti, then Madhyama, and then Vaikhari. When you speak from your heart, that language will directly penetrate into those who are hearing. Because it is coming from, not from mouth, not from head, but from heart. That language which is coming from heart, it will have irresistible power to penetrate into others' heart. And such a language comes from a man of realization. Not from book knowledge it will come. not from carrying a whole library in your brain. Won't make that language. We can feel, we can see, we can realize this doubtless language which is directly coming from heart in the exhortations of our rishis. That is the only reason after thousands and thousands and thousands of years, still these scriptures are remaining as pure, as newer as ever. Because their words were doubtless that came from within, came from realization, that was really para language. So come to point. There was no doubt. I have realized. I am living in that bliss. I am experiencing that ultimate happiness within. You come. You too have this. They called us. In one side, this man is going for happiness, searching for happiness. Incessantly, he is in quest of happiness, not getting. And the other side, they were immersed in eternal bliss. See the contradiction. So this happiness we all are searching for. And they declared, it is here. I am in that. You can also have that. Come. So hearing this, Shraddha will come within us. Because they are speaking from their direct experience. So with Shraddha, we will go to our scriptures, our shastras. And what they are saying? This bliss, this eternal happiness, which you are looking for, is not that something which we can have from outside. Yes, I know that. I have that experience. Then from where I will get? You go within yourself. You go deep within yourself. You just inquire, what is your real nature? What is my real nature? Just think for a second. We do not want the help of any text here. To know the nature of Brahman, we want Upanishad Pramana. Without Upanishad Pramana, what is the nature of Brahman, we cannot realize. But to inquire within, what is my nature, there is no need of any Upanishad. You just think, what is my real nature? Who am I? We know every one of us loves ourselves much. I am loving me. And that is the highest love I have. Not the love towards my wife, not the love towards my husband or children or mother, father. No. The love towards myself is the highest love. Just you think. Against doctor's advice, I did so many things in this world. Doctor insisted, don't take sugar. Your diabetes is going high. Still I consumed sugar. Finally, a small scar on my leg. It was developing. The inflammation, it became so severe. And in that stage, when I went to doctor, he told me there is no other way than amputation. Oh doctor, is it necessary? Is it essential? I became that much sad hearing this. Because all this life, this leg was with me. I was moving with this. And doctor says there is no other way. We have to amputate. Seeing my sadness, he says, "Oh Swami, are you so sad? Then you can go without doing that surgery. Then what will happen? You will die. There is no other way." "Oh no, I don't want to die. I don't want to die." Then you come and they get admitted in the hospital, we will do surgery. So I am ready for that. To save myself from death. And the next stage, you just imagine, the doctor says, "Oh Swami, you came too late. Now your sickness is too much. But still I will try with a medicine. I will give a medicine. You will be all right. But, oh doctor, what is still a but? You will become blind. If you consume this medicine, your sickness will go, of course. But you will become 100% blind." "Blind? No, I don't want to take that medicine. I am going." "Oh, if you are going, you can go." "No, doctor, please save me. Save my life. I don't want to die." "Then you have to take this. There is no other medicine. There is no other way." There is no doubt I will take that medicine. And I will think within me, how many blind men are there? They are living in this world. They are finding happiness in their own way. And the next stage, just you imagine, if the doctor says, "Swami, you came too late now. What can I do?" Still there is hope. I will give you a medicine. But if you take this, you will become mad. I will be still in more sad position. Because I don't want to be a madman in this world. "Oh doctor, no, I am not ready to get madness." Then you can go. Then what will happen? You will die. But I don't want to die. I want to save myself from death. Then you take this medicine. Then I am ready. I will be ready to have that medicine. And then sitting alone, I will think, how many mad men are there in this world? They are happily living here. Just to think, I am ready to get rid of all my organs of action, then senses of knowledge, mind, intellect, everything I am ready to get rid of to save myself. That means I love myself most, more than leg, more than eye, and more than mind. I am not this. These are my instruments. Huh? I was identifying myself with this. When I say I am a powerful man, I am identifying myself with body and prana. When I say I am an intelligent man, I am identifying myself with mind and intellect. But now, I realize I am not these instruments. And I love myself most, more than these, more than everything else. I love myself most. What it mean? What is the meaning of that? My real nature is the nature of happiness. My essential nature is the nature of bliss. Only because of that I love me most. And I get in my common life this happiness, this bliss when I am alone. I am getting happiness when I am in the company of loving people. I am getting happiness when I consume such objects or objects of enjoyments. All these are happiness. But I am having bliss in my daily life when I am alone, in the state of deep sleep. Not in the waking state, not in the dream state. In both these states, there are happiness, there are sorrows. There are big and small objects. There are good and bad. All dualities are there in waking state and dream state. But when I went to Sushupti, the state of deep sleep, there were no worlds around me. There were no relations, no father, no mother. Tatra mata amata bhavati, pita apita bhavati. Their mother becomes non-mother, father becomes non-father. No, there is no father, there is no mother, there is no wife, there is no husband, nobody is there. But I am there, I was there. Then what is our experience in that deep sleep? Whether one be a scholar or an illiterate person. The experience of all human beings, everybody is, we are having that bliss within when I am alone, I was alone. That was in Sushupti stage. So without a word, without a second, to be with me, I was having that bliss within. Without house, without objects of enjoyments, without objects of love, without any person, when I was alone, I am alone, I enjoyed the real bliss within me. There is no doubt. Then what is my real nature? It is the nature of bliss. But then question comes, why we are not experiencing that? Without that experience, we are going here and there in quest of happiness, to good and bad. To all relative planes we are going. One man is going for satsanga. One man is going to temple. Another man is going to pub. To have liquor. Why? All are in search of happiness. Without knowing our real nature is that of happiness, that of bliss. But how it happens? Here, Vidyaranya Swami gives an example. You just imagine a classroom. And in that classroom, some 30 or 40 students, they are singing a poem together. And one boy's or one girl's father or mother goes to that class. He or she is hearing the voice of his child. He is hearing, but he is not recognizing. In that sound, common sound of 30 or 40 students, of course, the sound of my child is there, but I cannot recognize. Why? Because it comes together. There are the voices of 40 students together. So I cannot differentiate the sound of my child, even though I know the sound of my child. I cannot differentiate. That is the problem. Because of so many identifications. Identification with body. I am this. And I am a sannyasin. I am a Swami. Identification with body. Then only sannyasi comes. There is no sannyasi in the Atma level. And I am a grihastha. I am a man, I am a woman, I am black, I am white. So many identifications, results of identifications are there. And I identify myself with the mind. Oh, I am thinking so. I am identifying myself with intellect. I am a wise man. I am a man of knowledge. Oh, I am an ignorant man. I do not know anything. Both these are identification with intellect. So many identifications come. And because of this, I am not able to differentiate myself from this. So what is required now? What is required is know yourself to differentiate from these objects of identification. So many objects are there with which you have identified yourself. And because of these multiple identifications, you are not realizing what my real nature is. So there is no other way. There are no two ways. Only one way is there. Differentiate yourself from the objects of identification. What is required for that? No two things. Only one thing. The knowledge to differentiate. Without knowledge, what it is, you cannot differentiate it with the others. There is no other way. Only through real knowledge you can get rid of these false identifications. So Shastra says, Jnana devatu kaivalyam. Uniqueness you will have only through knowledge. Moksha from, liberation from these false identifications we can have only through real knowledge. There is no other way. Knowledge of the self. What is my real nature? Who am I? When that real knowledge dawns within us, then only we will be able to differentiate ourselves from the objects of identification. Oh, how many identifications came? Huh? I was living in this world in the middle of so many jumbled identifications. Now, realizing what my real nature is, I am able to take up myself from this. That is the only way. That is the only way. Then some may ask, why you are saying that, Swami? Why you are repeating that? There is the way of bhakti. There is the way of yoga sadhanas. There is the way of nishkama karma. There is the way of scriptural studies. Yes, so many ways are there. So many paths are there. So many yogas are there. But all these yogas, whether it is jnana yoga, whether it is karma yoga, whether it is bhakti yoga, whether it is ashtanga yoga, whatever, all these yogas are for one end and aim, for this self-knowledge to shine within. That is possible only through getting rid of these false identifications. Then realizing what my real nature is, we will abide in that. We will be established in that bliss, in that supreme happiness. And there is no doubt, development, as far as human being is concerned, is reaching the ultimate goal in life. Before that, so many stages are there. Because we have the ability to discriminate. We have the ability to select from many. We have those abilities. And being with those abilities, the power to choose, the power to select, the power to discriminate, all these are certain stages of development. And of course, educational development, financial development, social development, cultural development. So many developments are there. We cannot negate. But as far as our peculiarity, our speciality is concerned, when we take that, that is the ability to know, ability to realize the cause of all causes. Brahmavaloka dhishana. And from that standpoint, the highest development we can have is attaining supreme bliss within. And to have that development, self-development, there is no other way than knowing the self. And so, self-development is possible only through self-knowledge. I came here and I sat on this. How? Knowing that this is a chair to sit. Without that knowledge, I cannot sit. So being in oneself is possible only through knowing oneself. So to be in that bliss, we must realize what bliss is. So through knowledge alone, we can reach that final state, the supreme goal, to have ultimate happiness, ultimate bliss within. Yes, through chanting, doing pranayama, having a fixed intellect with the help of meditation, dhyana, we will get happiness. We will have glimpses of bliss. But those are temporary. When we are immersed in hearing one Gita, Sangita, that real bliss will be within us. But when that goes, bliss also will go. So with the help of sadhanas, of course we will get happiness, we will get bliss. But when sadhana is not there, that bliss is not there. Only when we are in the state of Siddha state, that is a knower. We know ourselves, that realization. Then everlasting self-abidance, that is there. So self-development in the real sense we can have only through self-knowledge. For that, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, Japa, Dhyana, Pranayama, all sorts of upasanas, all sadhanas are there, prescribed according to our guna structure. So many ways are there, so many paths are there. But the end is this, that is knowledge. And through knowledge alone, we can be within ourselves. In Sanskrita, there is a word which we cannot translate. That is swastha, being in oneself. Swasmin tishtadi idi swastha. We cannot translate it. Once one Swamiji tried to translate it. He asked one mother, "Oh mother, are you rest upon yourself?" Then this mother replied, What are you asking, Swami? Are you rest upon yourself? I cannot follow you. What do you mean? I was trying to translate a word in Sanskrit, swastha. You cannot translate it. Being in oneself, being in supreme happiness, being in bliss. That state, untouched by the sorrows of the world, we can realize in this birth, in this world, here, now itself. And the way is knowledge, knowledge alone. Just think more and more with the help of Shastras, with the help of Gurus, then we will realize self-development in the real sense is possible only through self-knowledge. And knowledge is within ourselves. Just remove the the curtains of ignorance. So here the topic is self-development through self-knowledge. Now, thinking this, ruminating over this, some doubts may come. Here so many questions are there. It is said that where there is faith, there is no fear. How do we cultivate faith? See, faith is not a thing to be cultivated. You cannot cultivate anything. No. In common language we say, I am cultivating plant. You are not cultivating plant. A plant is growing in its own way. You are giving the situations, the circumstances, the atmosphere to grow. Only that. You cannot develop, you cannot cultivate faith within you. But you can do one thing. Just observe the world around. Just observe the world around us. Just observe all the happenings in this universe. From smallest atom to the grossest universe, there is a law, there is a scheme, there is a rule which is abiding everything together, which is holding everything together, which is uniting everything together. So many subatomic particles moving incessantly, but in certain well-defined routes, well-configured, makes an atom. So many stars, so many planets, galaxies, constantly moving in their own configured path, makes this universe. So, for that to happen, there must be a scheme, there must be a rule, there must be a law by which everything is happening in a perfect scheme. Just observe this. When the small buds of a flower bloom, when a child cries, when a child smiles, just observe this universe. Everywhere we will recognize a perfect order. So, rules are there, ruler must be behind. If laws are there, lawgiver must be behind. If schemes are there, somebody must be there behind controlling that schemes. There must be. And what is that? Who is behind all these phenomenal planes? So just observing this universe, it will give real Shraddha within. But in inscrutable ways. Just you observe this body, this digestive system, from mouth to rectum. Our mouth is alkaline. And go inside. Then it changes to acidic medium. Stomach is fully acidic. And you go to intestine sector, it is not that much ascetic, but still it is a sort of ascetic it is. But to the large intestine, again it is not ascetic. When you go to rectum side, it is alkaline again. Same tube. In some spheres, some stages acidic, some stages alkaline, again acidic. How it is? Who is maintaining all this? Just you think. We will learn in the books. We will write exams. We will score marks, and we will be in some positions. But go within. How it is happening? Who is behind all this? So, in the Narada Bhakti Sutra, it is said, Tasyaha jnanameva sadhanam ityeke. Some wise scholar says, the way to develop bhakti, the way to have faith is knowledge. That means knowing the scheme, knowing the pattern around, knowing the rules, laws which are maintaining this universe, that automatically will create real bhakti within. So don't try to cultivate faith, just observe and realize the presence of a great power within, a lawgiver behind. Naturally, faith will develop within. Don't try to make it, don't try to cultivate it. It must be quite natural. How do we know when to be content in life? Contentment. What is contentment? No. My question is, how do we know when to be content in life? Somebody asked another person, am I happy within? What sort of question it is? How you are seeing me? That we can ask. Is there a white or a black spot on my face? You can ask. Is there bhasma on my forehead? We can ask. Because I am not seeing that. We can get reply also. But am I happy within? Can you ask to anybody else? No. It is one's own experience. It is one's own experience. We can pose ourselves as happy beings, having contentment within. But being content, it is one's own experience. As long as we seek, as long as we are in quest of happiness, that contentment will not be there. It is a state you are full within. When you are full within, yadalokya ahladam hradaiva nimajya amrutamaye. When one man is immersed in a pond of nectar, he is immersed inside. That is his own experience. So, when there is no limitations of time, limitations of space, limitations of objects, when I am feeling my fullness, unlimited existence, then one man is contented with it. And that is one's own experience. For someone who is living in the material world, to what extent understanding the purpose of one's life is relevant? We all are in this material world. Everybody is sitting and discussing Vedanta is inside this world. We are hearing, we are speaking. Once a man came to ashram. He asked me, Swamiji, please allow me to stay here. I want to renounce the world. Then I replied, you came to a wrong place, my boy, because I am within this world. I am hearing your voice. I am seeing you. We are in this world. We cannot renounce this world. How can one renounce in this world being inside the world? Learn to live in this world. So everybody is living in this material world. I am living in this body. As long as I am in this body, I am in this material plane. Because body is made up of so many materials. So have a clear idea within. See, with the help of knowledge, when knowledge is there within, we can live in this world without being in the entangles of so many unwanted objects. We can be above false identifications. We can be above wrong notions only with the help of knowledge. So whether you are a student, that is brahmachari, or a householder, or a vanaprastha, or a sannyasi, to be in this world and at the same time to be above this, what is required is knowledge. So it is imperative for all. Here there is a question written in Malayalam. I think we can take it in the evening session because that is in Malayalam. It is connected with Yesudas and Guruvayur. And then such other points. Historically, the caste division derived based on skills. But later on, strong compartmentalization appeared in society and Hindu is divided in its caste compartments. Now, to dissolve it, shall we need to emphasize and bring together all the castes together through intercaste marriages will be a good start. Please suggest. There is no intercaste marriage. Marriage happens between man and woman or between transgenders. Caste is different thing. See, the caste system, without the backing of Shruti Pramana, it was the main cause of our degradation, of our slavery. But at the same time, really, it was based on, as written here, skills, work skill, and slowly developed into watertight compartments and compartmentalization. That is there and that will be there as long as selfishness is there within us. You go to offices nowadays, in the government department or government offices, there will be one union for gazetted officers. There will be another union for non-gazetted officers. There will be another union for clerks working there. There will be another union for attendants who are working there. In the same department, so many strata are there, and each are united together. So many class divisions are there. It was there and it is there. Slowly, when social and financial considerations came within, creeped within, our caste system degraded and became the cause of our degradation. But as long as that selfishness is there within human being, it will be there. And never say caste system is there within Hindu community only. Don't say that. There is only one Bible for Christians, and for them there is only one God, it is Jehovah, and there is only one Son of God, and that is Christ. But no Catholics will go to the church of Protestants. No Jacobites will go to the church of Knanaya. No Knanaya will go to the church of Marthoma. Nobody will entertain even Pentecost. Clashes are there. Even within Orthodox Church, there are two groups. There were killings, lathi charges. Why? One group were asking government not to allow others to enter into their church. Such class division is not there now in Hindu religion, Hindu dharma. We all goes to same temple and we worship the same God. We chant the same nama. But it is not there in Christianity. And take the case of Islam. Sunni people are killing Shia Muslims. Both are Muslims. There is only one text for them, Quran. There is only one God for them, Allah. But they are quarreling. And in India, within Sunni itself, there are so many fractions. So many factions are there. No Mujahid man will enter to the mosque of Sunni. And no Sunni is allowed inside the mosque of Mujahid. And there is Salafi group. And there is Sunnatul Quran Society group. So many groups are there. Such caste system is not there in Hinduism today. It was there. But through the interventions of so many great acharyas, through spreading Vedanta, that caste division, superstitious barriers slowly disappeared. Of course, in some places there are some remnants of such divisions, but slowly that also will go. There is no doubt in that. So, understand that even though there is caste system even now in Hindu Vyavastha, there is no such caste system as in Islam and Christian nowadays. They are quarreling and killing. See, we have thousands and thousands of rishis. We have lakhs and lakhs of text. We have crores and crores of devatas. Such rich people we are. Even then, we are going to same temple. We are chanting the name of same God. Whether we chant Namah Shivaya, whether we chant Namo Narayanaya, we know Ishvara is same. But they, with one text, one God and one messenger, are quarreling in between. And we here are still saying we are indifferent caste. No, don't repeat that. See the positive side. There are negative sides, but try to make the society above that. Don't point out that. Don't point out the negativities. Show the positive side outside and try to negate the negativities within. Shiva got poison. Shiva got piece of moon from the same ocean. He put the moon above his head. Oh world, you just come and see. This ocean gave me such a wonderful present. You just come and see. And he put poison within. Don't see. He's not showing that. He's not showing that. Learn from Shiva. There are negativities. There are negative sides. Help to overcome those negativities. Help the society to come above that. Don't repeat that. There are negativities. There are negativities. No, don't repeat. Repeat the positive sides. Try to do that. So, intercaste marriage, I am not for that. Because marriage happens between man and woman. And of course, transgenders also can marry. We must respect them. Marriage never occurs between castes. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Buddhist scholar Kausambi places Bhagavad Gita in the period of Gupta Emperor, 6th century. For B.R. Ambedkar, Gita was written to blunt the Buddhist attack on Varna system and Vedas. Swamiji, what is the age of Bhagavad Gita? Is it really 5,500 years old? How can it be proved? There is nothing to be proved. This is Yugabda 5118. You add 36 to that. Or in the opinion of some other scholars, 26. So 5118 plus 26 or 5118 plus 36. That is the year in which Mahabharata battle happened. So after Mahabharata battle, there was a span of 26 years and according to some other scholars, 36 years to the beginning of next Kali Yuga. So this is 5118th year of this Kali Yuga. So add that. That is the year of Bhagavad Gita. How we can prove? It is in our Shastras. It is in our Shastra. We cannot prove. How can we prove? Is there any evidence we can show to a logical mind? Yes. It is written in Mahabharata that there was a full solar eclipse. And that period is calculated according to astronomical principles, and they have found out it was there. 5140 some years back, there was a full solar eclipse. And the places described in Mahabharata, it is there, even now. But we cannot prove physically to a man who is questioning and his only intention is to question or criticize Hindu Dharma. Who is just to criticize, let him criticize. There is no other way. But it is written in Mahabharata and it is proved through astronomical studies. And all places described there are there still, even now. Some changes have occurred, of course, because a long span of more than 5,000 years came. Bhagavan Bhashyakara, in the beginning of his commentary, has written, so many scholars have written commentaries on Bhagavad Gita before me. But there are so many misunderstandings in their commentaries And considering all those, I am writing according to Veda and logic. So Bhagavan Bhashyakara starts his commentary. The period of Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya, some scholars say it was before 1200 years, and some scholars before 2400 years. There is no one single opinion. But when we go to Bhashya, there is not even a single reference to Christian religion in the whole Bhashya. In the Avaidika Darshana, there would be, or there must come a reference at least regarding Christianity if the period of Bhashyakara was 1200 years back. And the later developments of Buddhism is not written there in Bhashya. And later developments which came in the Nyaya Darshana, Navya Nyaya and all, we cannot see in Bhashya. So, the time or the period of Bhashyakara was 1 century after Sri Buddha and some 300 or 400 years back of Jesus Christ. So it must be before Christ 300 or 400 years. That is the period accepted by or advocated by Kanchi Kamakoti Mutt and some scholars like Swami Sakyananda, and is also accepted by Joshi Mutt also. But almost all other scholars are saying the period 1200 years back. So if the first we are taking, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says so many commentaries were there for Gita. So many commentaries were there for Bhagavad Gita. If it was written some 2400 years back, then the period of Bhagavad Gita will be far, far back. So, sit with the period 5140 above. There is no doubt in that. Mamhi partha vyapashritya episyu papayonayaha striyo vaishyas tatha shudrah tepi yanti param gatim. Bhagavad Gita Shloka 9:32. This shloka says, who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas and Shudras can attain the supreme destination. Then there is the balance part. Kim punar brahmana punyaha bhakta rajarshayasthatha anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswama. Don't put that part in dark. Why Bhagavan include women in the group of people of lower grade? Where it is? Women in lower grade put by Bhagavan Bhashyakara. How? Veda itself is worshipped as Shruti Bhagavati. And the goddess of knowledge is Saraswati. How can Bhagavan Bhashyakara include women in the lower group? No, there is no lower, there is no higher. Just come to these words. Mam hi partha vyapashritya yepisyu papayonayaha. Those people who are included in the papayoni, those people, then who is a papayoni? Papayoni is a chandala. A brahmana can become a chandala. A kshatriya can become a chandala. Vaishya can become a chandala and Shudra can become chandala. One man or woman, when he is not performing his duties as brahmana, duties as kshatriya, duties as vaishya or duties as shudra, and when he is living against the Vedas, injunctions of Shruti, he is a chandala. Then take the other category, striyaha. That is not included in this papayonayaha. It is different, striyaha. Then vaishyaha. Then shudraha. 4 categories are there. One papayonayaha. Then the next is striyaha. See, those who are molding the society, they are mothers. Mothers are molding the society. In those days, in the time of Mahabharata, in general, there were no Gurukula studies for women. Earlier it were there. There is no doubt in that. Because in the Yajnavalkya Smriti, we can see Dharmacharinis. In the Vedas, we can see so many Brahmavadinis. There were Rishikas in the Vedas. That means seers of mantra. There were women. But in course of time, somehow, there were no Gurukula for women. And they were immersed in their works to mold this society. And next Vaishya, they were immersed in their business, trading. Always purchasing, selling, business. In the middle of business. And Shudras in the middle of activities, working. Always busy. They don't have the time to live under a guru for long time in studies of Veda. See, just to learn Vyakarana, you want at least 12 years. Then again to Samhita. So that scriptural studies, those who can devote the whole of their life for that scriptural study, they will become Brahmana. So even those who didn't underwent these scriptural studies, even they can realize me. They can come to me. if they have that real faith within, Mam hi parthavya pashritya, depending on me alone, they will reach the goal, the end of life. Papayonayaha, even papayonayaha, they will reach me. Here, three women, Vaishya and Shudra, are not included in papayoni. It is different. If you are including these three in papayoni, then there is a question. According to the custom, caste system itself, Vaishya have Yajñopavita. Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya have Yajñopavita. Holy thread. So one wearing holy thread included in papayoni? Stupidities. A man who is propagating the narrow caste system and all sorts of exploitations in the name of caste, will he include one with holy thread in the papayoni? No. He will say, others who don't have this Yajñopavita are papayoni. But those with Yajñopavita cannot be included in papayoni. Then Vaishya have Yajñopavita. Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya have Yajñopavita. So it is very clear from this that Striyaha, Vaishyaha, Shudraha are in one category and it cannot be papayoni because Vaishya have holy thread. But somehow that meaning, that explanation came. And to be frank with you, it came with Shankara Bhashya. Because in Shankara Bhashya, there is a word, Kete ityahu. Striyaha, Vaishyaha, Tatha Shudraha. The whole problem came with that Kete. Who are they? With that explanation in the Shankara Bhashya, we included Striyaha, Vaishya and Shudra in papayoni. So it must not be there. Kete in that Shankara Bhashya must not be there. Who wrote that Kete? I don't know. I am sure Shankaracharya cannot write that. He will not write that. But in course of time, somehow that Kete creeped into Shankara Bhashya. There's a sort of interpolation. Because one who is seeing unity in Brahma to Pipilaka, he cannot write Striyaha, Vaishyaha and Shudra as papayoni. Is three is papayoni. All beings in this world are coming from the womb of mother. So one coming out of papayoni must be a papayoni. I am a son of a mother. If mother is papayoni, son must be papayoni. So the greatest sin is calling women as sinners. It is the greatest sin. If mother is papayoni, child will also be a papayoni. So there is a mistake in understanding. So don't take this as papayonayaha, striyaha, vaishyaha, shudraha as one category. No. It is four categories. Papayonayaha, striyaha, vaishyaha, then shudraha. Understand in that light. Then the problem is not there. But the problem came from Shankara Bhashya, that ke te, who are they? From that question came all the problem. How it crept into Shankara Bhashya, we do not know. Is this shloka added to Gita later? No, it is not Prakshipta shloka, is there. There is no wrong with the shloka. The wrong meaning we are taking. So try to understand the right light. Then there is nothing wrong with the shloka. So it is over.